Ladies and gentlemen, kulangithi kona buckle up. We're about to take off manje. Make sure ukuthi yonke into yakho ihleli kahle. Grace and peace. I really hope this finds you well and in good spirits and you are in fire. This is Temba Lukela, otherwise known as Uskim. Babu Chalo Babu Chabera, the wise that are coming from the east. It's going to be a beautiful interview. It's going to be a beautiful session. Lena, it's enlightening. Kulmislunga si deep, tabaze tibiling. Because when you see here, this is a big brother of mine. So I mean, I'm white on the inside, I'm black on the outside. So what you see is the top deck. Very good friend of mine. We're seeking some clarity. We keep on, wanting to know Guti, what is what. This country, I saw something, leadership, when the blind are leading the blind. Are we in distress? Before we greet them at home, do you think we are coming, we are going, or we are going around in circles, or we are going nowhere slowly as a country?
My brother, we're heading over the cliff speedily. This nation is in decline. Would you like me to continue?
Yes. Let's go deeper. If you're a prophet, I was going to say go deeper, Papa, because you are putting this and people are saying, guys, are you sending shocking waves? Are you saying now we must live on the edge? We can't live our lives being fearful. Can't you clarify? What are you talking about? We see things that are happening. We are watching a commission as we speak right now. So it's emanating from what you are saying. Others are saying we are prophets. It's emanating from the Holy Spirit. Where do you plug now so that we can do it? We can plug from where you are plugging.
Okay. We have to start in 1901 when Rothschilds and the Crown Corporation took control of this country. So the New World Order, so to speak, which is globalist elites, it's the global corporatists, have taken control of this planet. And the plan is to enslave every single one of us, black, white, and brown. Right now, we're sitting in a situation in South Africa where the finance has been weaponized against the people. It's virtually impossible to get money into the country for upliftment programs, humanitarian grant funds, and the theft from and by the banks is mind-boggling. Right now, the banks are asset stripping the nation, and the victims have no recourse to the law. So I have one matter where we've got 18 fraudulent court orders, and the man was dispossessed of his life's work with false court orders. That's only one aspect of where we're headed in this nation. I could go into the food security, which most people are totally unaware of. But I think we need to give the viewers a wake-up call, and as brutal as it may be, it is the reality that we are facing. And I'm going to move around from subject to subject so that you can get a broader view.
I want to release you permanently now. I'm going to keep quiet. Even if you could speak for an hour is all right. Let's give them the names, surnames, where you come from. And then I know where you come from, you go by,
Yes.
So what they know you for.
Okay.
So I want us to understand everyone has his or her own ministry. So what is, with celebrities, they're saying your claim to fame. This person has done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just give them the full intro so that when we move, we move.
Okay. I'm Henry William McCarter. I'm South African born. I'm raised in Johannesburg and in KZN. I've always hated injustice, even as a young man. And in 2018, I was given the opportunity to travel through Africa and assist with the cannabis legislation. And I found it virtually impossible to do that. And wherever I went in Africa, I see the same destruction, the same decline, the same collapse of the economy. And it's a global phenomenon. It's all planned. And so from that first journey through Africa and seeing exactly what the governments were doing to the people, I decided to do something about it. And then I started investigating why the cannabis market won't take off in South Africa, what the laws are. And although they tell you, please, you can do this, when it comes to it, you actually can't because they control everything. So, which leads me into my battle with the Reserve Bank.
Yeah.
And we can see what's going on with the banks. I'm in court with Absa Bank, who have now attempted to interdict me and silence me from telling people what I'm telling you here today. The banks, and I told Lieutenant General Makwenazi, the banks have captured the judiciary and law enforcement, amongst others. And if General Makwenazi has evidence that the drug dealers have captured the law enforcement and judiciary, then it simply shows us that they're up for sale to anyone who can pay them. So we are in a lawless nation, and I've proved this since long before the State Capture Commission. And I know that you mentioned earlier that you're watching another commission, and I'll just briefly give you my overview of that. The Zondo State Capture Commission cost the taxpayers 1 billion rand. And Chief Justice Zondo received 188,000 pages of evidence of theft, malfeasance, corruption, looting. And there was only one arrest out of that debacle, and that was Angelo Agrizzi, a whistleblower. So my view of these commissions, they're a waste of time, and it's a method for people to launder money, because there's no point in having a commission, in my view, when you've made the public statement, the banks and the judiciary and law enforcement are captured. You then present your evidence, arrest, and sentence. But now we have to have a commission. So I fail to understand what all these commissions are, other than media distraction. For it's very important for the media to keep the people asleep with nonsense. So the media has been weaponized against the people as well. Our public broadcaster does not belong to us. It is a political propaganda weapon. So if we look at because you want the brutal realization, the food chain has been under attack, and it's global, by the way. They intend to starve the people. And you say to me, but what evidence do you have? The cattle stock in South Africa is currently what it was in 1950, when there were only 14 million people in South Africa. So the cattle herd has been reduced to next to nothing. And if I go back to the fruit orchards, Zebedelia, the largest orange groves and the sweetest orange in the world, it was known for 30 years everywhere around the world. But President Mandela destroyed that. And there's nothing left of Zebedelia today. And if you look at, and I'm going to say this, Ace Magashula and the Estina Dairy Farm, everyone said, see, they're incompetent. And anyone who tells me that anyone in the ANC is incompetent, they do not know what they're talking about. For they did not incompetently destroy Estina Dairy Farm. What they did was competently destroy the largest dairy herd in the Free State. So the food chain has been under attack. There have been 4,000 farmers murdered, black and white. You're aware of that. And when the first one happened, I said to people, this is not a racist issue. This is destruction of the food chain. So finance has been weaponized. The food chain has been lost. And we, the people, find ourselves in a lawless nation. For the courts do not adjudicate by the law. For the courts should comply with the law, being the Constitution of South Africa.
Are you politically aligned?
I'll give you my view on politics. Politics is a license to loot. All those political parties are paid by the Manel family in Cape Town. So in a letter that I wrote to President Ramaphosa, I put the link where the United States Military Industrial Complex Entertainment Division budget is used for advancement of political purposes. So all these politicians are one.
Yeah.
There is no independent political party. Politics is a distraction to keep the people divided.
You're touching my nails, but there's Rupert's and Oppenheimers. What's the story?
Well, okay. Let's look. I'm going to deal with the Ruperts and the Oppenheimers and the rest of them, but let's go back to the situation in South Africa. The United Nations resolutions, Agenda 2025 and 2030 apply. And before these globalist criminals do anything, they put it in writing and they tell us what they're going to do. So if we were to read the UN resolutions 2025 and 2030, there are two words that are important. It'll bring you to the situation where we are in South Africa. The first term that is important is depopulation. They've put it in writing that they intend to depopulate to the tune of 6.5 billion people before 2030. And the COVID vaccinations was only the beginning of the depopulation agenda, for they have stated they will depopulate this planet by all and any means possible. The second most important word is sustainability. And the globalists use English differently to the way we use it. Because if you and I were to hear, hey, this is a sustainable program, we want to rejoice. But sustainability to them means total global corporate control of every resource. And we are human resources. So the enslavement of South Africa is well underway. They've neutralized the military. They've neutralized the police. The Navy is a shadow of what it was in 1980. They've neutralized the defense capabilities of our nation.
How so? Because when you're saying they've neutralized, are they silenced or they're operating but in small margins and small numbers in all little corners?
All funding has been cut to all defense components. So they all run down and they couldn't defend a suburb. But I'll tell you what the globalists have done with their defense. The nation is surrounded. We've got 16,000 American soldiers in Botswana. We have 8,000 American soldiers in Swaziland, Eswatini. Excuse me. We have Chinese military camp in the Eastern Cape. From President Mbeki's days, and there are witnesses to this statement, he allowed ISIS camps into South Africa. So we're surrounded and we have internal foreign forces. How are we going to change all of this is probably your next question. How do we change this? How do we arrest this?
The first question is, do we need to be scared now? Because our Gary people must sometimes, are we supposed to be worried?
No.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. The Bible says 356 times have no fear. And I live by that. I don't live by the Bible per se, but I have no fear.
Yeah.
Because fear paralyzes you and prevents you from critically thinking about issues. But from a spiritual perspective, I've known about this since 1971. And in those days when we received a UN resolution, we'd photocopy it, send it to our buddies, give it to them, so we could continue to spread the word. And we could see what they intended for mankind way back then. And people used to say to me, what are we going to do to stop this? And I used to tell them, we're going to pray for divine intervention. Because I'm surely the Creator will come down and stop this. And 3 years ago, I was walking in my garden and it hit me like a ton of bricks. We who have been given the knowledge are the divine intervention. Excuse me.
I get you. Yo, you still tuned into Rings and Bearings. Hello, Uncle Henny. He's breaking it down here. So I'm not sure if I need to be on the edge of my seat because he says we are surrounded here. You are still going to go back to that topic. Yeah, but carry on. You are in the garden.
Okay. So the weaponization of finance will lead to CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. Each South African who survives what is coming will be able to receive 5,000 Rand per month on his cell phone or her cell phone. And you will only be able to spend that on what the government tells you you can spend it on. And if you are a person like me, I wouldn't even bother to apply for one. For I will receive no funds whatsoever. I will be cut out of the system.
Can we put that as a fact? Is it what is coming
Yes.
through your research?
Yes.
Or you were reliably, mhlambe, alerted?
There's evidence to this fact.
Okay.
And
Will it work like a grant? 350, this 1.8, whatever.
yes, because they're going to destroy the economy to the point where you have 30 million unemployed people, and the government are going to have to pay them. There are already funds available to uplift this nation,
Yeah.
because I've done the research into foreign funds and gold-backed currency that should be released into South Africa.
Yeah.
But the cabal will not allow any of these funds to be released. So let me take you back to UN Resolution 2025 and 2030.
Yeah.
The country is run by Rothschilds. Cyril's boss is Martin Kingston. He's head of Rothschilds Africa.
What are you saying?
Underneath Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yeah.
So my apologies. You can.
Hey.
To the left, you're going to trim this.
Yeah.
To the left of Cyril Ramaphosa is the NEC. And to the right of Ramaphosa is the Stellenbosch Mafia. Now, the NEC's function, according to UN resolutions, is to externalize the asset value of 600 SOEs. Now, to externalize the asset value, we're talking about selling off Transnet, Eskom, South African Airways, 600 state-owned enterprises,
entities. Yeah.
water, everything.
Yeah.
That's their function. And they're doing a solid job. To the right, Stellenbosch Mafia. People think the Stellenbosch Mafia are some boertjies with a little bit of money. In 1902, the Stellenbosch Mafia bought Queen Victoria University in Stellenbosch and renamed it the Stellenbosch University. They have been planting graduates and others globally for 125 years. They have all the money that they require to do whatever they do, and their function is to corporatize and monopolize the South African private sector. And they too are doing a fine job. For people think, well, there's Checkers, there's Pick n Pay, there's this. They may have different shareholders, but they're all managed with one policy.
Who is the boss of the boss?
Who is the top controller of the organized crime syndicate that intends to enslave mankind? It starts at the Vatican,
Yeah.
because the Vatican control all the churches, 1,640 religions. And Opus Dei, which is OPUSDEI in the Vatican, is the psychological warfare division. And they have two weapons, religion and finance. So it goes to the Vatican and to above the Vatican, because we have got very wealthy Italian and Iranian families that have ruled this planet for over 4,000 years. And they've monopolized all weaponry, military weaponry. They have control of all of it. So it looks like we have an impossible task ahead of us to free ourselves and to free this nation from the globalist cabal. But there are many men, brave, who are prepared to do that.
You're talking bravery. There is 1 billionaire. I see his videos are trending, are all over the show. His name is Rob Hersoff. What are your thoughts on Rob?
He's going to love me after this. Hersov family and the Oppenheimers have been in business since 1951. The globalist elite have an agenda. When the people need a hero, we will supply that hero. I have no respect for Rob Hersov. He's a puppet.
Oh, man, what are you saying now?
I can only
Hey,
say
you speak with conviction, Chief. Is it
I-
because of money? But when
I
you're saying
only,
no, there's-
I only
you don't
speak.
take him serious.
I only speak with research and knowledge. I don't work on belief. I have no respect for him.
He always uses an F word and say FANC, F this, F this. They've literally.
He's paid to act as if he is on the side of the people.
But how do you pay a billionaire?
You perhaps allow him to keep the 245 billion that he obtained from a trade, from a foreign banking deal, and you turn a blind eye to it. Obviously, you got to pay them a lot more than $3 to $5 million.
I'm going to push you because there's more to what you are saying. There's just no way that you could. No, I don't want to use or hate is a strong word. On a lighter note, you don't like him for obvious reasons. I need the obvious reasons.
Well, the obvious reasons are he is part of the family, and once you're part of this global family, and the secret societies, you never get out of it. Once you're in, once you've taken your oath of allegiance, you're in with your life. And they only speak out when they are told to speak out. But simply look at the Hersov-Oppenheimer 1951 connection.
So why is he making noise, according to you? Do you think he wants to throw a bone if you are giving a dog a bone, or you are redirecting, actually? He's creating a decoy.
Yes, he's giving the people false hope. The Russians did this in 1917 when the people were sitting at home and the only news media was a newspaper. They said, don't worry, the white hats are coming to save you. The white hats are coming to save you. 1917, they woke up one morning and the communist takeover was complete and they never saw a white hat. Hersov is simply a puppet to distract the nation, in my view.
Let's talk about the president. I know, Guti, I'm getting deeper. And some of us, we do this as smaller little broadcasters on the corner, but I like it because the Constitution has allowed us that constitutional right to say, nah, freedom of speech, though we need to be responsible. What's your view on the current leadership, President Cyril Ramaphosa?
The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And I've been in Bloemfontein High Court with Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Manguleli, where through the Constitution and lawfully, he filed to remove the top 7 for not complying with the Constitution in so many ways.
Top 7 of the current leadership,
Yes,
the ruling party.
Cyril and the NEC. Forgive me saying Cyril, but I believe he was removed from power lawfully on the 8th of May 2025. He's been subpoenaed to court, refuses to attend, and we're taking the matter to the Constitutional Court.
You are part of the people that wants to remove the president.
Yes. I'm part of the people. I'm part of the group that wishes to see this nation free from all this nonsense, distraction, and deliberate impoverishment of the masses.
You don't believe in his leadership qualities?
Not at all. For 32 years, the ANC, and I have evidence of this, have been committing genocide against its own people through the housing RDP and deliberate obstruction and deliberate destruction
You are worrying
of
me now.
township economies.
You are repeating what Ukoko Helen Zille had said when she spoke. I mean, they were asking about the issues of genocide. And so genocide is very deep. So when you are saying the ANC and the 32 years, I at times, I must hold you on the testimony, and I must quote you verbatim.
Yes.
And then see quote unquote. So you are mentioning the word genocide. Why would you go that deep?
going back to those who have the knowledge of the divine intervention,
Yeah.
many, many people contact me. One man wrote to me 2 years ago for 6 months begging me to assist him in a matter. And when I finally read the papers, it was evidence of genocide. And so I'm busy with that matter. And we will publish it. And it's gone to the Speaker of Parliament. But the government do what they normally do. They simply ignore
Yeah.
those people that are asking the right questions.
There's a question now. Someone is asking, who is Henny now? Who are you, Chief? Because are you a, there are people who are activists in their own right. You know, there are people who are politicians. You choose prophets of doom, bishops, and others. So who are you?
I'm an activist for freedom.
Now, please give me the background, because maybe if out of 10 wars, you can say, no, I had battles, but I'm fighting wars now. How many battles have you won? And of course, including the Standard Bank and them. You spoke about food security. You spoke about the banking sector. You spoke about military. So it seems like you are very well knowledgeable, and you understand the systems. Have you gone to school? Have you studied? Or these things are self-taught? Are you researching? Who are you?
I'm self-educated. I once asked a lawyer, how can ignorance of the law be no excuse when you study for 4 years? And he said to me, the books are there, read them. So I've been doing that for 20 years.
So the whole knowledge that we are talking about here, the whole conversation, it's based on self-taught.
It is. But when I make a statement, I have evidence for it.
Can we put the information to test then? Because when we talk, we must talk and also substantiate. We don't just mention something, create some distraction or instill some fear or doubt in people's minds. So I want people to be convicted. On R&B, Mina, I always say, I go on a fact-finding mission. So I want us now to state the facts. Let's focus on your war with the banks. How far and how long, back?
Okay. So the banks are asset stripping the nation, as I mentioned, and the victims have no recourse to the law. For the banks have captured the judiciary and law enforcement. Once again, 3 years ago, a gentleman contacted me and requested assistance with his Absa Bank matter.
Yeah.
And after viewing his documents, I felt that my fiduciary duty was to write to the external auditors of Barclays and Absa's auditors in London, advising them that I had evidence of the corruption of Absa. And they ignored that. And that letter's online. It's on my website.
Yeah.
More than one bank is doing this. The banks manipulated the rand. Now, manipulation of the rand is treason. And Maria Ramos, the chair lady of Absa Bank, in her public confession, apologized to the nation. I then wrote to the Speaker of Parliament demanding that they table the manipulation of the rand. Then they removed the Speaker, Nosivina Kula, and delayed the matter. The banks control the judiciary. We will not be able to get this into court quickly, but we are working on it. Absa have now again, in the last 2 weeks, filed an interdict to silence me again. And this time, and I trust that they will hear this, I am going to bring in the genocide of their manipulation of the rand. Can you imagine the impoverishment that it has caused this nation? We should be paying maybe 5 rand for $1. We'll be paying 18. Can you imagine?
Is this cooked?
Sorry?
Is it cooked? Is this, because of their doings, they are working on this. Like you are saying, they are manipulating the system.
Yes. And then to distract the nation, 6 weeks ago, they heard a matter between the Competition Control Board and the banks. In the Constitutional Court, they argued jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And they never discussed the merits of the matter. Then I say to myself, nobody pays attention
Yeah.
because it's so convoluted and there's so many documents, so much evidence.
Yeah.
But in essence, it's all to distract the nation.
Yeah.
The banks are impoverishing the nation. And I'm going to prove it in my next High Court, Johannesburg High Court submission.
Let's talk about governance. What's your view on the municipality, the state of current affairs, how things are run down now? Robots are not working, infrastructure, the schooling system.
Education's been weaponed, but
Yeah.
let's look at the overall economy. So 2009, load shedding started. And at that time, I said to everybody, they are using Eskom as a weapon of mass destruction to destroy the economy slowly so that you can't see it.
Who, when you say they?
Who? The globalist cabal, the globalist controllers of this nation.
Yeah.
Believe me, the people running this nation have no sympathy, empathy towards South Africans, black, white, or brown. So Eskom, for how many years have we had load shedding? And they used to load shed on a Sunday night during 2 a.m. to 3. And people used to, but why? Simply to destroy the nighttime industry. Simply to ensure that the manufacturers can't work over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. That's why they load shed consistently. Load shedding is to destroy the economy. And they have done a great job. And then with the unlawful lockdown of COVID, that destroyed another 30% of this economy.
You touched two big things: depopulating, meaning they will kill people,
Yes.
whether via COVID or whatever way.
Yes.
Now you are talking about the issue of Eskom, because how you are putting it, a lot of people are under the impression of obviously it is because or as a result of bad governance. Ukuthi, whoever is the minister, the HODs. I mean, let's talk about the corruption. When people are supplying coal, or they cover stones, they're making them coal, and then they fiddle with all the transformers, and it's man-made, of course, we can see. But we want to get to the who.
The WHO is the globalist elite that control this nation. Rothschilds and the corporates. Because remember, global corporate control is already underway in this nation.
Okay, let's get on the solutions, the how part. How are we going to resuscitate? Is it too bad? Is it too deep? Is it worse? Is it beyond repairs? Or do we still have a signana of a dash of hope? Things might get better with time if we can change maybe the leadership. Let's get to the solutions, because I see you have painted a clear picture. Anyone who's been listening so far, they understand we have a crisis. I want us to go back to the commissions that are here now. They are meant for what? Maybe decoy destruction.
Yes.
But let's talk about the solutions.
In 2014, Dr. Peter Mans and His Majesty King Zwelithini founded the SADC National Peace Commission, deriving its authority from a 2001 protocol against corruption. So a 2001 SADC protocol against corruption was signed by 15 presidents, giving His Majesty Zwelithini and Dr. Peter Mans the right to form the Peace Commission. And Dr. Mans asked me to get involved in the Peace Commission some 3 years ago and nominated me to be the vice chair. He has since passed away, and the remaining members have asked me to be the chair of the Peace Commission. The Peace Commission has a function in keeping the government honest and ensuring that we get the message out. An example is Dr. Lefola, the leader of the opposition party in Lesotho, has been incarcerated unlawfully. And all he's asking is for them to comply with the law. And the law in this case is UN Resolution 1817 of 1962, which gave Basutoland its independence. It also went on to demand the South African government keep their hands out of Lesotho. So here we have the leader of a political party who's in jail for telling the truth.
Yeah.
The Peace Commission has tried its utmost best
Yeah.
to get him released on humanitarian grounds, at least, so we can prepare defense for him. And I've written to Marco Rubio of the United States, African Union. I've written to so many people, including the president of Lesotho.
Yeah.
But that simply gives the people a vehicle. And we have a great deal of support for the Peace Commission. And it's just one of the vehicles and platforms that the people have, that their voice will be heard, no matter what comes. But overall, the solution is not a political solution. There is no political solution to the crisis facing this nation. And crisis is defined as imminent danger. That's what crisis means. Politics is a distraction. It is the people have to stand together, because the other weapons that these globalists have used against the nation is race, religion, and politics. Now, all the African nations I've traveled, I can walk in Nairobi at 12 o'clock at night. I can walk back to my hotel in Accra, anywhere. There's never any white, black mention, but you come to South Africa and the government has a politics of hate, and it's on the TV and it's pushed all the time. So religion, same story. The Muslims must kill the Jews must kill the For the Jewish faith is, as you know, their Messiah can only return when all other faiths have been removed from the planet. I mean, that's not a loving God, you know. So quite how we get over this, we have to continue to fight them in the courts, in their courts, using their laws. And that's where most of my time is spent these days.
What do you think happened? Because you have touched Lesotho and the vice president being incarcerated. What do you think happened in the case of the former statesman, Jacob Zuma, leading to his arrest and ultimately incarcerated? He is reintegrated. And do you think the war is over?
You know, former President Jacob Zuma, I like him. He's a very affable man. It's a pleasure to spend any time with him, even if it's a phone call. He really is an intelligent man. Forget what you see on TV about him not being able to count. He is highly intelligent. He's getting on a bit now. He's 84, I think. He's been battling with diabetes. I've been to visit him a few times. And I don't think the MK is the solution for the nation. But I respect the President Jacob Zuma. And I have a close working relationship with the Zulus in KZN.
You are aligned. So, but what do you think had happened? Were the charges concocted? Was this a planned thing to taint him, to create some distraction because they saw what was coming? Because it looks like we have people who are fortune tellers here. They know what's going to happen in the future. If we remove this one, we know that it's done. Before we get to the General Mkwanazi's issue, but what do you think was the essence of that thing?
You know, many presidents battle opposition parties and the globalists, and they know how to maximize distraction. Because if you look back, I think President Zuma has about 840 charges still outstanding and all the rest of it. But I don't think it'll ever go to court. And all they did was elevate him a little bit.
They gave him power, eh?
Yeah.
Do you think our sitting president will face jail time?
Well, if the Constitution is the supreme law of this land, then he should.
You want Ramaphosa to go to prison, Chief?
Well, if he hasn't complied with the Constitution and is guilty of a crime, then he should. I'm sure you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks,
Yes, sir.
because these court matters are not going to stop.
Let's take it to the Eastern Cape. Leader CIC Julius Malema and his case. You follow anything that says law. I enjoy sitting with the old man. I am feeding off your wisdom. You'll forgive me because I'm abusing you today. And you had said, you are my brother. You can drag it, man, forever. Let's talk about the
Julius.
case and Julius.
Okay.
What do you think will be the sentence?
All right. Let's first of all look at who Julius is.
Yeah.
Okay. My research indicates, but be that as it may, Julius Malema was introduced to MI6, British intelligence, by Rob Hersov. So Julius works for MI6, British intelligence. Julius's function, when the time comes, is to cause chaos with all the uneducated youth. His function is to cause chaos. So after this, I'll face another 10 defamation matters in the High Court. Everybody will sue again. But the truth is the truth.
But we need to substantiate, because, assuming and speculating is one thing, but proving it's another. And it looks like you are always convicted. You can't. It comes from somewhere. So if it's coming from the belly of the beast, let's hear about it. Why why would you narrow it down to this?
Because I have seen evidence. I've seen photographs of Julius's meetings with Rob Hersov and MI6. And so have many other people, because it's on social media.
Maybe it's AI, Chief.
No.
You know how it
No,
operates.
I do. Trust me.
Yeah.
We know the difference between AI photographs and actual photographs.
Okay. Maybe just a few individuals, because it's on record and you are talking about pictures. When you are meeting the high profiles, you do obviously share a moment, and you will make sure that we have memories that we are going to keep for forever. Who are some of the most powerful people that you have met in the country? You have met the former president, Jacob Zuma, and then?
Yes, I've met him. I've met Paul Mashatile. I've met all the Bloemfontein guys. I've met S. Magashula. But I haven't gone out of my way to meet anyone in South Africa. They know who I am. Trust me. I've delivered documents to the Union Building, addressed to the president more than once, to be met by his attorneys who stamp and sign the documents. They all know who I am. And this is not an ego. This is simply because of the work that I've been doing.
President Cyril Ramaphosa gives you an audience. What are those, things? What's that? I'll say a few things. That you want to, maybe a message that you want to deliver or send across.
Well, firstly, my first view would be to ask him to resign and hand the nation over to those who are capable of rebuilding it. Because those who are capable of rebuilding it, and there are many educated people waiting in the wings, and there's enough foreign capital waiting to come in. My request would be for him to resign.
But someone who's angry here, looking at you and saying, this old man is crazy, who can just let the power slide just like that? Who can hand over the rings of power just like that?
Correct, because power is taken. It's never given. But we have to work lawfully within the lawful structures and be polite. The people seeking freedom in this nation aren't armed. The government is armed. They've got the monopoly on violence.
We are closing with the top 5 or 6 parties. We have obviously the current leadership and the ruling party. I want you to help people to dissect and know ANC. through your eye. Research, you've been at it. You spoke about 33 years, it tells me you've been here. You've done that, bought the t-shirt. And then over second to that, let's talk about the DA. And then perhaps we'll touch MK, we'll touch the EFF, then maybe touch a PA and the current formation, which is Africa Maibuya, led by President Floyd Shivambu.
I simply put all politics aside, for I know that it is a distraction and it's a total looting affair. All of these political parties. Let us rather look at a solution, if I may, because my views on the political are not too good for them.
Yeah.
But a solution is...
You want to save yourself from suing and court interdicts. No, please go ahead.
Many of the kings have signed to the African... sorry, I've just lost my train of thought. You'll cut in.
No, that's fine. We back. We are still at the you said when you'd rather entertain the solution than going individually and saying IFP would not. Yeah.
Okay, so a solution is for the nation to secede, for KZN to become a sovereign state, for the Eastern Cape or the Cape to become sovereign, for the Transkei to be sovereign, and all the kings have signed a federal alliance of South Africa, should that come about. So people are working at that with other kings and tribal leaders and elders to try and find a method of maintaining peace and structure during the coming years, of, if we have that much time. There is a peace planning process.
Okay. We are closing with the state now of current affairs that we see on a daily that are affecting everybody, trending on social media. People have their hero that they've discovered, which is Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. What's now your view on the state of policing in the country?
Thank you. When I first heard Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi make the statement, the judiciary and law enforcement are captured, my heart burst with joy. I thought I found a brother. But when he said it was the drug dealers, and I've not seen any evidence of any arrests of any drug dealers during all this commission, and I did reach out to him. I have evidence that it's the banks, and he has not contacted me because obviously his hands are busy with the commission. But my view, simply another distraction. All these commissions.
Yeah. But do you think something will come out of course, what he obviously on the was it on the 6th of July? Because what we saw on that day, it was a whole new South Africa.
Correct.
It changed the political landscape. It changed how people view any general, and then just a man in blue is just another person from next door.
Yeah. It certainly did. But again, I have evidence that the police do not investigate serious crime. I spent 15 months on one matter. I met the heads of all law enforcement except for General Lebeya, who put me onto Hawks Illegal. The evidence is out there. The police are neutralized and only operate for either the cabal, the drug dealers, or whoever pays them.
Do you believe in God?
I believe that there's an almighty creator, whose name I do not know, that I acknowledge with respect and humility, that would grant me access to taking care of this creation, helping one another, and probably to go forth and multiply and enjoy this abundant creation. For this truly is an abundant creation. You know, in every grape there's 8 grapevines. In every peach is a tree. And we've been led to believe that there's a scarcity of everything. There's a shortage of everything. So the almighty creator that I acknowledge shows me that it is an abundant universe.
This episode belongs to Papsi. Thank you very much for the link. You've been dope. You've been awesome. But there should be that one leader, whether he comes from a religious sector, he is they call them with names. I don't want to mention a bishop. I was tempted to mention a bishop of a church, but there should be that one political figure or that one character. Maybe Judge Mukhweng. There should be someone that you say, okay, no, Skim, of all the things, if this man could rise to power, I'm sure things might change. Because there is no way, God will never come himself here. You know, he will raise a prophet, he will raise a kingdom, he will raise someone. So who can you raise when? Personal and saying, no, leader. I think here we've got a thing or two. With the right guidance, with the right team, we can win this war.
We can win this war, and it isn't down to one person. Most of the meetings I'm in, I'm the only white guy. There are so many brothers and sisters that are wide awake and intelligent and educated. And my bet is that they must rise and unite, because we can establish another system of governance that maintains freedom for all without causing any harm to any other.
Your heart is connected to every skin. But it looks to me like you are more connected into skin. So what are your, I'll refer, for lack of a better way, to your people. You know, how do they perceive you? What's their view? You've seen things on social media when people are writing and now you just said, hey, Rob must wait.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, I'm saying, no. I'm saying, obviously, between the, okay, I'll loosely translate it to a black and a white.
Oh, what do my people say? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Most white people can't believe what's going on.
Yeah.
But they can see the impoverishment of the masses because the whites are equally as poor.
Yeah.
But they never thought it would come at this time.
Yeah.
And most of them, I think, are happy that at least someone is standing up and opening his mouth and advising people what's going on. Because most of the whites are generally calm and they don't want to be seen to be doing anything because we have an African government, I think. But we are all one, my brother. And
there's never been a statement about Mr. H accusing you of being racist of some sort.
Never.
You're a brother from another mother. Your meeting there, I want us to talk about this. This is the last point as we're signing off and we are out. The Oval Office. Hey, Muna, there was a party there. It was a certain story there. I saw people. Heads were rolling. It was hectic. Your view on the Oval Office meeting?
Again, a distraction. But if you saw who went, Rupert went.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rupert is the CEO of South Africa Incorporated. Cyril is only the spokesman. But they play the game and it's theater. Nothing comes of it. But everybody's entertained and absorbed for 36 hours. Then the newspapers take over. And what did they achieve with that meeting? Zero. But shortly after that, Trump announced the tariff increases. And the tariffs is to destroy economies globally. And people think that Trump is going to save. Trump is one of them.
Hey, if that guy would come here spinning, hey, he will land the chopper here. He will land the Air Force One. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we have it, Mr. H. Let's put our hands together for Mr. H. Thank you very much, my good sir.